everyone, welcome back to Not a Historian, where I, Isaiah, explain various historical events to you, the audience. Now, over the next couple months, I will be releasing a mega series about communism in the 20th century, right? And communism has shaped the way that the world looks back then, and it still does to this day. And I hope you get something out from these videos. And let's get started. So one thing that puzzles many people a lot is the difference between communism and socialism. So in 1848, Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels, BFFs, wrote a book called The Communist Manifesto, in which they said that society is divided into distinct classes, right? And one class is always oppressing the other. Now, in this case, the bourgeoisie, the rich and powerful, is oppressing the working class, the proletariat as they called it. And in order to solve this conflict, the proletariat has to overthrow the bourgeoisie and establish their own dictatorship, which will control all aspects of society, the benefits and wealth among everyone, regardless of class divisions. And this way they will treat the bourgeoisie and the proletariat as one and the same and render the class system obsolete. And this is where communism and socialism diverge, right? Socialism comes before communism. In socialism, the government owns the production only, while in communism, the government owns all aspects of society. However, in both systems, everybody works toward the common goal of the state, right? However, communism and socialism can give rise to corrupt dictators that hoard wealth and power, since they're dictators that control all aspects of society, and they're dictators, which means basically no one can stop them from keep holding on to that wealth and power, so they just hold on to that wealth and power. Alright, so when we talk about communism, we have to mention the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, right? Also known as the Soviet Union. This was one of the most powerful countries during the 20th century and also one of the first truly socialist nation in history. And today I will be covering how socialism really took hold on that area and how the Soviet Union was born. In 1917, Europe was being torn apart by World War I, right? And this was a war not of great battles, but of attrition, which means the objective was to wear the opponent down. And so far it seems to be working. Citizen morale is low, food shortages are rampant, and rebellions are popping up everywhere from Ireland to the Ottoman Empire. Even more so in the Russian Empire, which was currently losing the war. The Emperor, Nicholas II, is looking like a fool to his people. His main weakness is that he is super indecisive. He can barely make decisions on his own, and he is easily manipulatable. That means other people can control him. And he is also a very weak military commander, which is not someone you want for a leader when your country is in the middle of a world war. And this was problematic, to say the least. Even worse, a self-proclaimed magic holy man that could heal the emperor's son, named Grigory Rasputin, seemed to be controlling the royal family. Because you see, the emperor's son had a condition called hemophilia, which makes it difficult for him to form blood clots when he gets cut. And Rasputin claimed that he could heal the Prince Alexei of his condition. And the royal family really did believe it, and it actually seemed to be working. And so in the eyes of the people, it felt like he was controlling the royal family. So a combination of all this resulted in low morale and low popularity with the government, right? And in February, the citizens of Petrograd, the capital of Russia, rose up in revolt, deposed the emperor, and replaced him with the Russian provisional government. However, in October, a man by the name of Lenin returned to Russia. Previously, he had been exiled by the emperor because of communist actions. But now, since the emperor was gone, he came back and started a revolt. Wait a minute, that's not the right Lenin. I want Lenin, not Lenin. I want the Russian, not the Beatle. There, Lenin. So Vladimir Lenin, like I was saying, he caused a revolt, which replaced the Russian provisional government with him and his political party, which was called the Bolsheviks. And the Bolsheviks were a communist party, right? And so they proclaimed communism throughout the land. Oh, and while they were at it, they killed Nicholas and pulled Russia out of World War I. Just for good measure. However, not everyone was happy about this change of leadership. So the Russian Civil War was a result of the conflict between communists and anti-communists. The communists were led by the Bolsheviks, known as the Reds. The anti-communists were led by the Whites. The Whites had backing from the Allied powers of World War I, who were quite uncomfortable with this idea of communism because it could potentially lead to revolt in their own countries. They also had backing from the Cossacks, an ethnic group that had established 2 breakaway states in the Caucasus region of Russia about here. They were known as the Don Republic and the Kuban People's Republic. Wait a minute, what? No! I said Kuban, not Cuban. Kuban! Clean the earwax out of your ears, come on. I'll get back to you in, I don't know, maybe 2 months? They also had backing from the Czechoslovak Legion, a group of Czechs who were fighting for the Russians. And the Russians had previously allowed them safe passage out of Russia, but when the Bolsheviks took control, they denied them that safe passage. So the Czechoslovak Legion allied themselves against the Reds. The Reds were led by the brilliant, energetic, and capable military commander Leon Trotsky, for whom Trotskyism, a form of communism, is named after, right? And the Whites were led by Admiral Alexander Kolchak, who established his own dictatorship, briefly, and the tough guy, leader of the Czechoslovak Legion, Anton Denikin. Now, instead of going into the details about how every single battle was fought, I'm just gonna keep things simple, right? And treat each battle as a point for the winning side, right? Whoever gets the most points wins the war, right? So let's begin. And I'm just gonna put the battles on the losing side because, just to humiliate them. Battle of Ekaterinodar, point for red. Battle of Saracen, point for red. Battle of Sviazhsk, point for red. Battle of Voronezh, point for red. Battle of Odessa, point for red. And Battle of Perekop, ultimate win for red. And after the Battle of Perekop, the Whites were defeated, Kolchak was executed, the Cossacks were reintegrated into Russia, and in 1922, the Soviet Union was born. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like this video, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the new videos that I release. And also, I would love to see my channel grow. And also leave a comment. What did I leave out? What should I talk about in the future? And I am not a historian, so feel free to criticize me for anything I didn't include. And I'll see you next time.